Who are your ideal customers first?
Well, right now it's big pharma.
Big pharma? And what kind of problem do they have which is semi-solved or unresolved?
The problem they have now is if they have a product, a drug on the market, they need to prove what the value of their drug is. They need to show, to be paid back, for instance, in Belgium, what value do I bring to the economy, right? That it's not just an expense, but a benefit. So they need to know the patients that use, it has the nanotherapy, that it has a good effect versus the standard with the old therapy.
Right. And how was that done in the past before you came to the table?
Well, we're still coming, right? So it's still in the now. I would say now they typically build registries, or they work with the very expensive big companies like IQVIA and others, which is huge. And so right now I have one pharma that said it will take us 900,000 euros and 1.5 years to get the data. And the other one is 2 times 200,000 euro per year, and they're not counting their own time. So typically 200 to 600,000 euros to 1.5 million.
Right.
To get the registry, which means the patient, how many patients are there in Belgium that are using the drugs and not using drugs, to prove that our drug
right. Is there another alternative before we talk about Jude?
I think it's, if you know the field a little bit, it's like Cienzano is probably well known in Belgium. So they have healthdata.be, which is a governmental institute that helps you with the registries.
Right.
And then it's the IQVIAs, and there's other companies. I think Linkscare is also well known, and there's some IMEC people here. So Linkscare is a company that helps with that. And I don't know to what extent, because I left Ontaforce in February 2022. I don't know if they're also entering the market access field, because
right.
That's the field right now.
And what have you guys solved that the others didn't crack?
Well, it's really a paradigm shift. So it's very innovative, because what we do now, and I can talk about it. So one of our first customers is Roche, and it's hemophilia. So in Belgium, it's more. Yeah. So Roche, and it's in fact, it's indeed a small project. No, I hope it's a small project in a big company. But the problem is hemophilia, there's like 1,000 people having it, that type of data. And typically before they had to go to Leuven and Saint-Luc, the 2 hospitals who have the most patients. Then they have to ask for the questions. They send in people, they ask questions, then the nurse was filling in the question and came back. Then they had a registry at Belgium who did that, but it was not working. And so what we did, we said, well, just you pay our bills, fee for service. And we built these personal health data vaults, so the solid technology, which is solid planners. And we built a data vault for the patient who connects all the data of all the hospitals, but also their watches and all the data. And now we've built it in 2-3 months. We went live, and all the people want to share the data anonymized very securely. So now, today, from these patients, with one click on the button every day, always on, always available. John came with that. They came with the data, and it's working. So I find it fantastic. So they don't need to write the checks to phone them.
Upgrade the big download as well, like entry barrier for others. You first with that, that's you have like an advantage for that. Or
oh, yeah, it's difficult to say, Christopher. I think yes, we're first, but typically first is bleeding.
Bleeding out.
I just talked to Gestos about it, so I'm still very proud of Ontaforce. People know that. But we were like 10 years ahead is what you were literally saying, right? So being early in the market comes with not bleeding at there. So
this is going back to one of the things we talk about. Like if you can fast track the S curve, like when you market, if you can move ahead, like make it early, like 3 years, that's immense. You can skip 2 funding rounds. You can make the market leadership very early. You can use your early innovation to leave the others in the dust. Yeah.
And the other thing, but it's recorded, so you need to be careful on the recording. I don't know, but we use Chatham rules here, which I hope for the start. So don't make pictures if something is shared it's needed. But like I can ask in this room with Pfizer, we had the same thing, and I think it's due to the work that we do. So getting into a big company is already very tough.
Yeah.
But now we signed a deal. John knows that last week, and it's
and also once you're in, you need to convince a bunch of people.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I explained also to my neighbor when we had some questions with B2B sales or stuff. Oh, yeah, I think so, yes. Absolutely. The problem is B2B sales, it is kind of tough because it a lot of people. And so this is, and I can vouch for you guys because you're doing a great job for me, because The company was, up till last year, only one employee and two founders. And the two founders were doing consultancy work. So the cash burn was like 8,000-9,000 per month. But we closed one deal already, and a big deal, major deal, 100,000-200K, right? Recurring. And so this year we went only to 8 employees. So we're still a small company. So we don't have sales. We don't have marketing. I'm the only sales guy.
Right.
And so I talked to John because when we were the beacon, I really believed instantly what you were doing. It is very tough to hire good salespeople, to find good salespeople, and to scale them. And in fact, Gert, you're doing a terrific job. You're really doing it well. But, the first 5 salespeople I had to fire. And my board said, hire them. And it costs a lot of money and features. And so what I learned first with Chris Fiddick, the guy who worked before you, it's kind of, he said, and he understood it and said, you need to talk to the mega deals boys, because this is exactly it. He said, Hans, you're making the deals and I need to empower you. You need to do very sales. Yes. And that's coming to your story.
So let's look at, great. Thank you, Hans. Let's look at some of that. So here, we've been active 105 days. We're targeting only this unusually, but your accounts are huge. So it's sometimes between 100 and 200 accounts, but here's 10 accounts. We're targeting 435 stakeholders within each. Any comments?
Honestly, I was also hesitant to start with these guys. And Ben's quick, well, I can see that. Says that let's start with 10 accounts because I cannot handle one. That's the other thing.
Yeah, great. And then here we can see we're here using, because these companies are so big, we can't target them by IP. It's
just really like the top 20 pharma. So we took 10 of this top 20 pharma.
And we're targeting mainly through this, where we carve out exactly the right people with these different platforms.
And maybe one other thing to add, this guy's talking all the time. What, 2-3 times a week?
Too much.
So we get an agenda of where he's going to be talking. And then we set that little beacon around those locations so that he can augment his impact on the audiences that are going to the events that he's at. Yeah. And of course, once they leave, when he goes to bed, machine is still there talking to the people who have attended to these events and beginning to build with massive influence at scale to dominate these 10 accounts as the category leader. First of all, what the category is, and of course, that he's the leader. So he's becoming the authority in the space.
Right. And it's really working. So it's really working nice. Like Chatham Herald's here. So we signed a deal with Pfizer. I can say this, but don't put it on Twitter. And that's kind of the balance here. You know how it works with Mama. There's it already now.
Most sensitive.
Yeah, but in November, they called me 2 weeks ago from corporates in Boston, US. And I said, Hans, we want to talk to you. And I said, we want to make budget available for you next year.
So here are our share. This is not to be shared, but it's for the...
Yeah.
So Bristol, I said Myers-Briggs, which is personality test, but I meant Bristol. That's right, it's the start you say, Myers-Briggs, that's not something else. Anyway, Merck, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Novartis, yeah.
And we picked them, so probably that's even more underneath it. So,
yeah. And then here, as Hans said, they wanted also to create a lot of exposure in the US. So here you can see we get a lot of exposure in the US.
So there's no way that he could finish an event, follow up everybody who says hi, at the end of the event. But by reaching out proactively to them where they consume their information at their time, at their leisure, with credible sources of media, they feel a level of comfort with what he's talking about, and he's normalizing the category. And the fact, and this is the first time I heard you say it, getting a call from the US is that an example of how...
So I don't want to price it, but I should know. They had that.
But there's also someone like Hans, you can't do the stakeholder, like takes forever.
Yeah.
It's like super time consuming. So I thought that in the media.
John was saying it, right? So I think people who follow me, I had the luck not the luck to work for the government a year and a half. So I was asked by the government to work for them. I didn't want to do it, but I was so frustrated by the government and the inefficiencies and all the money spent. And we know all about it with all our narcissists leaving our country. So they asked me to come over and say it in my face, and I did it. And then they asked me, can you set up a new agency? And I tried it. And then I set up it the wrong way, so I gave up again and I left. But a year and a half I did it. So yes, I'm doing a lot of talks because we have an MOU also with Janus. So I don't have this work, but this is amazing. We have Flanders wants to buy from us. So we have a B2G extra thing.
Right.
So
are we targeting that?
I don't think so, but it happened. It happens. We were just flabbergasted because we literally had an email signed the MOUs.
Nice.
We did do this. So I feel, I don't know if it's negative, but I think because I'm not doing it. And what you're saying, John, is right, but I don't know the companies here. But like now with Faqir, it's really a new, very innovative startup with a lot of potential, huge potential. But I need to talk to a lot of people because they invite me. So it's the Flemish government. It's a farmer. Like next Monday, it's the farmer asking us. So you cannot say no, and you have to be there. And I don't have time to do this.
No.
And that's it. I don't have.
My wife is a similar situation. They're the 4 people. They're selling to virtual power plants. You have like 2-3 per country normally, and there are about 200 across Europe. She's like, I don't want to wait for them to start proposing, like, when fast track it. So, yeah.
Plus the extra benefit is, and it was, I don't think you explained that really well. So I want to add to that is, I'm working with Oscar, one of the employees of Megadeals, also with you guys. The good thing is, this guy is kind of a really great marketing guy for me. And he's preparing these things, but I see it picking up. So even now,
He would be happy to hear that.
oh yeah, but he's fantastic. But the point is that I don't have to do anything. You see, it's working and I don't have to do anything. So the guy calls me, even WhatsApp, 50 minutes, and in the beginning I was a little bit more. And it seems to be working because we get a lot of attention. I get emails coming to me. I don't have to send them. So it's not exact size of model for that. But I don't have to do anything, and that's important to say.
The reason why we built it that way was that we've learned that in the scale-up phase, too much to do, especially the rainmakers, they're just too busy.
Yeah.
So if we say, well, here's a platform, you do it, they're like, so we have the platform, we actually do the work around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm here. Yes, sir. Yes.
I just wanted to ask you, do you also hire like a sales enablement person or like sales assistant?
Do you have a Tamina? That is
Not yet. But
we don't have one, right?
yeah. But let me go back. In fact, when Philip and I founded the company, that's the first person we want to hire. So we have Yves in our company. He's doing fantastic. He's our first employee, but he doesn't like this. So sorry, Yves, if this gets recorded, but I call him the jack of all trades. But he is following up with me, right? Because that's the important thing which I learned, Gert, and you were there just a little bit later. But with the sales guy at Odontofos, I learned it also with iStat. So thank you very much, iStat. Learned a lot from you guys. And when we went to ERA in New York, he said, Hans, you have to open the doors and be there. So even 5-10 minutes. And Gert, you know it. And then you take care of the full process, that person. So yes, we had one. But I feel that the guy, that's not his forte. His forte is even more customer success because he's really good talking to people. And he just grabs me when he does. So we need to find him. But you're right. You need to follow up and close the deals then.
I can give you the profile. So not most people make this mistake to bring that is too junior. So this person has to be pretty advanced because
and systematic and detail oriented.
Tamina is 42.
Look, if I like me jumping on the stage, not of these.
There needs to be more structure than we are. Yes, I understand. So Tamina runs our sales pipeline. I do meetings. She knows when to do follow-up with who. So she's 42. She's an ex-investment banker. I would say she's a management consulting profile. So don't make the mistake because people bring in like a secretary, but she's like super smart.
Yeah.
She's not super cheap.
Not a salesperson.
No. No, exactly. And she's like, he's super happy to scale me.
Yep.
She's actually been uncomfortable standing on stage and stuff. I think actually I would move her there soon, but originally she wants to work a bit behind the scenes. So her only work description is to scale me, like multiply time. Yep. Yeah, but
I see this is an emerging role. Showpad, remember the Living New York spoke. She's doing the same thing. The customer age company I'm talking about, the thought leader is the one out front. He's got somebody who's doing all the sales logistics in the back end.
But going back to the Rainmaker dependency, because we can't copy Rainmakers. And seriously, I might as well have a second. So like a double pipe here. And Daniela, so we're 3 people in this core team together with John. She's doing 1 to 3 videos per week. They're pretty basic, like booking head, 30 seconds to a few minutes, talking about various things that we know our clients are wondering about, etc. insights. But this whole machine is pretty effective and really, but it's way cheaper, even though she's not super junior. to find to recruit the equivalent to me is relatively expensive. So she is, yeah. And I mean, when I speak to clients, I say, look, she's doubling my time. They're like, no, she's 5xing you, because she's, like you said, she's super structured. I'm not. And I'm like creative analytical, but I'm not super structured. She runs the process. She's the one.
And figure this person post message on use bonus, right? This person is managing me.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
The other
It's the same. Yeah, same. She's so I own the recipe.
You're now the CEO.
I own the recipe, but she manages me. 100%.
Oh, there were 2 more questions.
Yes, my question almost is who is developing the content for this campaign?
Yeah.
So that's
Right. You could answer it. No, go ahead.
say it from your point of view.
Yeah. Well, of course, the content comes out of my brain. They cannot make it, but they facilitate it. So
we produce it.
Yeah, they produce it. So I just have to talk and to say yes, no. And they give me 3 slides, and then I take it with my team, and we just have to review. So it goes very fluent. They also do, because I wanted to say this, they also do that executive work, which is important. And they know it very well. And John, you also help, right? Because one thing is...
We don't use underlying videos in our book. We don't do that. We do the media. When we talk on to me.
But you could show us that thing, or you have it on the slide. So
Yeah. The thing you saw with the various phases, that we do. We're not like having a video team and stuff. That's, but I would use, to begin with a freelancer. I mean, they're quite cheap, to be honest. You produce like these talking heads, 500 to 1,000 euros each. It's pretty affordable, to be honest. Of course, I can show you some other later. They're like more 20K, but they are way advanced. They're super advanced. Most of the stuff is okay to have. 90% of the videos we do are talking head, 2 minutes. We do 1 to 3 per week, super cheap. Just, yeah.
Are you done managing the LinkedIn profile of
No.
me?
but they have
We're doing 2 things. We do the stakeholder mappings, and we update them. We do the media machinery. And in the media machinery, we're also talking to Hans, like making sure we're aligned with where he's moving in the market. He's going to this event. And we also produce the media surfaces you see on LinkedIn, on the news sites, etc. We're not coming in with a video team producing videos for you. We're not doing articles.
But if you have them, we can link them.
Oh yeah. If you have good PR and good you have a freelance or whatever, we take that content, move it into the media surfaces. I essentially call it media surfaces instead of ads, because it's not just ads; it's also some other surfaces.
So just to see how it works in real life, right? So on Friday, I have a call with these guys, and in first 5 minutes, I apologize that it didn't work and to do what I promised to do, because I didn't find the time. We know how it works, because he has so many things to do. And then they say, how did you close a Pfizer deal? What was on the last event? And then, in fact, they listen and they make small messages, and they make it in that way that they say, this is good, and then they push it on the right channels. I don't even know where they push it.
And this is the beauty of it, because when he's talking from his, intuitively, the essence of his message is coming out, and we're able to translate that back into something we
Yeah, don't write it yourself.
No. I mean, the whole thinking is around offloading rainmakers, not putting it all on them. That drives how we run the company. So as soon as we see Hans is struggling with this, can we do that for him?
Well, are you alone, the rainmaker, or do you also have another rainmaker in there? Because then you need 2 people that 10x the rainmaker, or...
Well, my co-founder Philip is, I think, also a rainmaker, but different. I'm more the business strategist, the innovator, the evangelizer. And I've got already like 12 years in pharma. And then what I did with the other companies is felt perceived. What I did for the government was amazing. So there's 4 prime ministers that really said, we've never seen this before, what you did in 4 months. So I'm definitely the rainmaker there on putting new innovative ideas in the market that could actually work. But Philip is absolutely, he's my co-founder, but he's more technical. He's the professor. He's like the second step. So I bring him in as technical. No. Because I will say, Hans, I had it in New York. There was one pharma guy, he came to me, yeah, Hans, you explained it well, go sign. Philip, you have half a day to explain what you actually do.
Yeah, so what do you really do?
Yeah, what do you really do? So, and it's really half the time, we were all laughing with it, because that's the game you play, right? But that's technical sales. But he's also a rainmaker, because he also needs to write a paper, but it's more technical, but it also they need it.
Yeah.
But that's more the Steffens down in the.
Yeah.
It's not the VPs.
You don't have an external rainmaker that you put in sales.
Even it won't work at this point.
I mean,
I think.
I think the next year after we're awesome, the guys are, you can do that, but don't put in three. I one company, they had to do a fire sale. They had to sell the company for peanuts. They had some kind of board member that came from the traditional world. He was like, you need to bring in super senior enterprise sales, which is accurate. And he brought them in from IBM. Do you remember which model speaks to where they are successfully they come from traditional companies? Anyone remembers? It's a vector. The W. Yeah. You can be, just to be humble here, in one of my companies, I made a say this like a year ago. The guy is his largest deal was $1 billion with Maersk. I was like, this guy's rock star. Took him into a startup around the chairman.
Yeah, there's no way to go. And experience
Performance we had already frustrated because he couldn't deal with the W. He was not used to that. He was talking unique selling points. The customer was like, I don't care about your selling points. I don't even know which problem are you solving and what is your, I mean, I don't get it. Like, why is this even important, right?
because I'm also advising other startups quite a bit, and I see exactly this not working well. To bringing another successful rainmaker in your company. Yeah.
No, they're first.
Yeah.
Yeah. We doesn't sound good. It's one reason to good. I mean,
and because I want to add also to the question of you, because it's not just preparing the messaging, but what I loved what they did, and I don't know if you said it, but when you do B2B sales, it's not just one person. It's like Stefan is probably the innovator guy. He's on the conferences, explaining this, and the gadget guy who wants to buy the new thing. But then you need the VP, the sponsor, you need procurement, you need legal. So what Oscar, how dreamy, we talked about this, right? It's not just Oscar, but anyone there, is when you're successful in one company and you have all the people, you know, the decision-making person B2B deals, which is typically 6 to 8 key people and then people underneath. He copied that in all of these companies. And so they get the message.
Call it ideal stakeholder.
Yeah. And you know, they bring it up. So what I said, it's like this kind of VP, this kind of director, he made a decision and she paid. And then they go in and they find this and they target them.
Because you will still underline this. So, you know,
But that's important.
and I think COVID actually exploded the problem. The old model was, you know, if I know you and you shake hand, get the contract, I'm going to get the deal, right?
No.
But actually, there's a board member over here. There is McKinsey's who's abiding over there. And there are probably 40 other people that are influencing what decisions are taking place on strategic new things that you will never meet and make and never ever meet. So having the ability to influence this at scale reinforces your ability to do the work with the 2 or 3 people you do have contact with.
It is not a question at all. I mean, I get the concept. We work together.
Yes.
My question here in this practical case is who is the person from marketing point of view who is optimizing the campaigns on LinkedIn, on Instagram? It's you. Okay. So that's the question.
I don't have hard ideas to the company. So typically you are paralyzed like US, let's say one step bigger than House's company is typically either the CEO or head of sales together with some kind of marketing person. So we're working like dotted line between marketing and sales because we're like super close to the deals, but we're have a marketing function. So that's how we typically operate. But normally in the most scale-ups that I know, this is so common. I see job adverts. There's a founder like near you. They're like, oh, we need a marketing person. So it would be great if she can do conferences, content on the website, the web, branding, some brochures, some slides, little product archive, some table mapping, do customer segment analysis, and digital marketing, SEO, SEM, and not more than that, and maybe some PR. This is odd. You've seen this. You might have dropped it yourself. That person does not exist. If it existed, we're talking about, to do all of that is 10 people. We're talking 10 full-time Vs. So there's like a very, very common, especially first-time entrepreneurs, they completely underestimate the complications within marketing. They're like, oh, we recruit a digital marketeer. What the fuck is that? Sorry.
Well, maybe just to close that off, there is a role always for marketing. Any size company that this does not.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We don't cover
It
this.
still has to do the website, still has to do the basic visual assets and so on and so forth. Those functions,
And advance.
events, and
We don't do any of that.
all the other kind of,
We're doing stakeholder maps, things and media. That's what we do.
and then talk about the red field strategy, dividing the budget. Often it's sales pays for the enablement part, and marketing does the meeting budget. So it's split between two budgets.
It's not the sales director question. It's just it didn't shine through from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now you're working as a boss of shop marketing and creative agency.
We are a SaaS platform, but we had realized if we go, here's a SaaS platform, which is we work with scale-ups. They don't have art directors, copywriters. They don't have, even if you look someone who's pretty savvy on the digital platforms, I rarely meet people that know LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the whole DSP ecosystem. Those programs, just looking at that case, are very rare, let alone how they built a report machine and all that concentrates everyone, and you don't find. So it's kind of both a platform problem and a staffing problem that we solve. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe I don't get the concept yet completely. But how does the sales? So Tanya is yourself.
Amina, yeah.
Tamina, sorry. Okay. So how do you scale that? We are in 35 countries in 5 segments. How do you scale that?
I mean, this day what? Amina.
Sales. Yeah.
Sales as such.
Am I right, Meg? What do you think? Because you say
No. I know you come to a point, of course, when I'm not saying you should stay with only 1 or 2 rainmakers per hour. You should build a sales force. The only thing I'm saying is that what I see often that is happening to Erdig is an overbelief that, we've done 5 deals. Now I can outsource it to 5 sales guys. And for whatever reason, 5 is a common number. And then they have to fire 4 of them. And the last one is made a support person to someone like Hans eventually. But then they lost $1 or $2 million on the way. Yeah.
But I want to add to that because it's a very good question. I'm also an angel investor, and I help do scale ups on that specific problem. Is when do you scale up? So we were scale up of the year. We're going to 2017, but I hated to have the enterprise because we weren't the scale up at all. I think Kenny, we talked about it. We weren't the scale up at all. We were not there yet to copy myself. That's your question. So for me, Tamina is not a salesperson, but she's more like sales enabling. Yeah. So she's following up, and every door, and she says, "No, Hans, you need to email that. No, Hans, you have to be there." So she's playing me.
Very people have very good detail. We're here after
many deals.
Yeah, wait. Okay. So once you start to scale, like to the US, and then you have Japan, and then you cannot be everywhere. Well, you'll do all that trembling in the beginning. But the point is, what I see is, then some people start to learn how you work, and you see in your company that typically you don't hire them, but then your company has some talents, and then you raise these talents, and then it starts to happen. But still, that's my main answer. I think for the main, it's like your Nokia story. I think the main deals, still the foundry. It's a wise lesson I got from Felix van der Malen, which you know from Collier. He said for the bigger deals, I even have to show up 5 minutes, but if I show up, the deal is made. And that's the.
We have a German client that worked, like you said, like 35 countries, blah, 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 4 segments or something. There we support 20 commercial people, not 1. So the reason why Hans is interesting is because the phenomenon of rainmakers lives longer than most think. That dependency survives, unfortunately, longer than we want. Well, typically way beyond the 10 million level. Like and as I said, it never really disappears. IBM has it, Ericsson has it. So it just goes down in like how critical it is.
Is it because there's a buzzword around like DevOps in tech? You have RevOps. And yes, the tape we do it. What we
well, so you could call it RevOps, but most people that use the term RevOps means someone that is actually in-house building a tech ecosystem, licensing platforms, etc. That we have already done. We have built that for a specific target audience, companies with a finite market, high complexity, and a rainmaker dependency. We've already built that. We sometimes still have a potential plan going. I even met the client that decided to build our software in-house. I'm like, are you mad?
Yeah, don't do this. No,
But to speak to your point, the Taminas, the lady in New York for ShowPad, that is RevOps or sales ops. That is purely managing the back end to make it work, including the relationship with us contractually.
Yeah, the relationships, and that's what I want to add. It's not just someone sitting doing the CRM work and the emails. So he goes with you, but always puts you on it to make the deals faster, because she cannot do it. Maybe after 5 years, there's some people learning that now. So typically, what I see to make rainmakers, when they follow you like for 2, 3, 4 years, in the other companies, it did seem to work.
So
You're not you're just guy in and he will do no. That's
what's important for Hans, typically Stefan and the guys have been brought in, but we need to be successful fairly high up. So you can see the media distribution, they're pretty senior titles. And plus you can also, we have covered them here because we're not showing the names, but we also see on the names, like how many times have they seen it, the clicks, etc.
And maybe to make it very concrete, because I want to tell you how it works and not sell it. But the cool thing is they have a system. You log on, you see who clicks on what, because it's on LinkedIn. And then I can engage, and the others, but I mostly use now LinkedIn. And then you can engage with these people, and then you start to finance. So they finance for you and you engage. It's a very lean and easy way to engage. And I don't do this yet enough.
So directly per platform. So here you see an account warming up. You can then start to engage, nudge gently the stakeholder community, the buyer community that you're going to win.
That's pretty cool.
And maybe share some value-added information, but not get into a yes-no engagement.
Yeah, so basically you can click from the correction on the,
Does it mean
in the software.
connecting on LinkedIn? Or well, first, if you don't know them, you connect, and you know she saw you or she clicked on you. She doesn't know, and then you connect, and I know. Oh, cool, a good flow through, a good flow. And as you connect on one thing they do it, that's where you, because now you took a risk inviting me. You know that, you know me already well, because I'm very straightforward and no bullshit. That's good. But the point is here, I think the name mega deals, I told you, is not well chosen. Because you think when this company will have mega deals, so 2 billion deals and 3 million. I think it's more getting to the mega deals. And I don't mean this badly. And so that's why you're asking questions. It's not clear for you. For me, it wasn't clear neither. But once you start working, so they're prepared for a mega deal. They don't close the mega deal.
I would say most of the stuff, the beauty is we've taken it from the multi-billion-dollar area, because there you can't make any mistakes. So we've taken it from a very competitive space.
The cool thing is you haven't met Bora. So Bora is also a super nice guy. And he's a super sales guy.
Yeah.
And he's giving me tips and tricks, which even helps. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so
That's where you get to the mega deals.
So that's the third part of the platform, is the social selling part, which of course is something you have to do, but we provide advisory. So we meet, once every couple of weeks now?
Yeah, I'm probably a very expensive cook.
So if as it's not just a system. You get the social advisory support. What are the next tactics to move that account down the decision funnel? We change the ads every 90 days. So then the question is, what are the layers of messaging that have to support the different layers of the decision funnel? It's not a sales funnel. This is something unique to a deal-centric way of working rather than a lead-centric way of working. So we haven't had time to get into that part of it today, but this is absolutely essential, because you're not selling feeds and speeds. You're selling the vision, you're selling the category, you're selling the flood category, eating the knowledge around that, becoming an authority in the space.
What Hans said, so he knows already that particular person has seen him more than 200 times. So then in our tool, the LinkedIn link and the email is already there. So he doesn't have to go and search. He just clicks on it. Then he can start to like some of the posts and kind of softly approach them. And then after a few iterations, add them as a contact. And then not immediately go boom, pitch. Like you're kind of gradually building out the internal network and the presence with them.
It's kind of interesting because it's not about ego, because honestly, I hate this. I didn't know that. I hate that my picture is on there, that I get invited, because I don't want to be in.
Well, you asked us to Photoshop this to make it pretty.
So who's that? That's good.
So listen, because mindful of time, are there any final?
But it works. That's the thing. It works. And yes, you have to replace yourself, because for me, success is when I'm not needed anymore.
Right.
And that's a challenge when you do this, but this is actually how it works. And right now with the new company, I really have the vision as a founding CEO. My kids always laugh at that, and they're 22 and 20 and 17. So it's not like Polis. But I said, my role in 2-3 years is with my wife, because we had some luck with some other companies, is to travel around the world and just be there for my sales when I'm there. And I stay 5 days and I go to the next. So that's kind of, and I think still I would add a lot of value to the company, but have a lot of fun. But I don't want to do any execution anymore.
Yeah.
Fun job.
Yes, thank you very much. Good. Thank you also. Very cool.